When you move, Degree Motion Sense reacts.
Speak to me, I'm waiting for your words to light me up. It took me years to get where I'm at right now, and I don't wanna mess it up. I can't go back there again and commit myself to treason against my innocence, turning to stone. Staring out the window, we're left here all alone. I should feel bad, but I can't stop laughing. You gave it up, now it's mine for the taking. I should sleep, but I can't stop waking. Telling myself that love is what it takes to do what we've been up to. Breaking from the darkness. Love is what it takes to do what we've been up to. Leave the pain. I wanna take in everything and feel the sting of something deeper than my fear of being hurt. When it gets lost in the end, a picture perfect finish to my insignificance, cut to the bone. I had it coming for a long time, as you've known. In every word I lifted up in my defense, you tore them down and said, love is what it takes to do what we've been up to. Breaking from the darkness. Love is what it takes to do what we've been up to. Get off my chest so I can breathe again. Get off my chest so I can breathe again. In every word I lifted up in my defense, you tore them down and said, love is what it takes to do what we've been up to. Breaking from the darkness. Love is what it takes to do what we've been up to. You found me on my bedroom floor. Eyes couldn't see anymore, and you said I ain't got much of my cash saved up, but it's enough to get us out of here. You saw a shadow coming our way. Your heart suddenly stolen away. And so I held your hand while the night got rough, saying, keep your money, mama, I'll just toughen up for ya. I won't let love, I won't let love, no, no, I won't let love push me around. I stood up like a roaring wave, blood boiling in my veins, and I said, you ain't gonna raise another red my way if you wanna see the light of day. Yeah, he waited till the morning came, dropped me a note before he caught that train, and it read, I'm sorry son, I may be back someday. I never read another letter, I just threw it away, saying, I won't let love, I won't let love, no, no, I won't let love push me around, not anymore. I won't let love, I won't let love, no, no, I won't let love push me around, not anymore. Yeah, I still hear the sound of wrath coming down from that mound of empty cans to burn your lonely brand, to mark these weary hands. Go on and give me the weight of the cross you made, and I swear I'll make it stand. And I will be the better man. And I will learn to love again. And I will be the better man. Oh, I'll toughen up, yeah. I won't let love, I won't let love, no, no, I won't let love push me around, not anymore. I won't let love, I won't let love, no, no, I won't let love push me around, not anymore. Push me around, not anymore. Push me around, not We burned all the witches, we set the world on fire. We sang with candles in our hands, and this could be an anthem of what we're coming to. Giving guilty credit to you. We cast out the demons, then we'll drink another round. We stand where no one's to be found. tell you about a man that was scared cause he never seemed to understand. Well, he got old. Well, he got old. Let me tell you about a man that was scared cause he never seemed to find that one. He let her go. He let her go. Yeah. I roll straight to the Lord. I run straight to the Lord. I run straight to the Lord. 'Cause he holds my head up high. I hold my breath. I hold my breath.
There are lots of ways to save money. Here's one way. E-shirts. They were born online and built to save. They major in efficiency, which means when they save, you save. They have smart online tools that help you find the right coverage.
Good evening and welcome back. It's Thursday night and it's time for a Thursday night Dota event, and that is the Boston Throwdown, the feud from the East, the day matchup of University of Massachusetts Amherst versus Boston University in this Division I Throwdown for the Collegiate Star League. My name is Toffees, as always, here every Tuesday and Thursday, bringing you the best in collegiate Dota for the Collegiate Star League. Now, I'm joined here by my co-caster, Gorgon the Wonder Cow. You can find me at Toffees TV. You can find him at the Wonder Cow over on Twitter, and we got a best of 3 series for you tonight by 2 teams that are very evenly matched.
Yeah, no, they are coming in with similar play records. I don't think we've seen either of them so far, but I'm looking forward to getting some new teams out under our belts with the Venomancer pick right out of the gate.
Absolutely. Now, both of these teams are 0-2 right now in their division, and they are in the #1 East Division, which is a very tough grouping, and they've both had the misfortune of coming up against the University of Maryland, who has been a juggernaut at the moment. One of them hit University of Connecticut, which was also just a brutal team to come up against. So UConn and Maryland, both absolute juggernauts. So don't let the 0-2 fool you, because they have gone against some of the best teams that the Collegiate Star League has to offer. I'm excited about this game, Gorgon, because it gives us a chance for the first time, I think, to see them play on what I would call the normal level you would see sort of at CS Star League. This is the beginning of the tournament. A lot of these teams recently came together. Series, this season goes all the way through May. So these teams have a lot of time to adjust their strategies, and they need to get to know each other and play together. And I think that teams like Maryland, they have, from what I understand, have some returning roster, have some people who know how to play with each other, and are doing really well at the front end. Teams like UMass and Boston University, a little bit of a different story there. So I'm curious to see how they match up at this stage to give us an indication of what they're going to look like in the months to come. Shadow Fiend picked up as the first grab from UMass. We see the banouts, pretty standard stuff. Alchemist, Ember Spirit, the Doom, who I heard, Gorgon, getting a nerf possibly as early as tomorrow.
Oh, really? Just in time for the Nanyang Championships. That's an interesting time for nerf to be coming out. I would assume that all of Nanyang will be done before any actual.
Yeah, I would say that's probably true.
But I would expect maybe Monday or Tuesday might be when we see that. I certainly expect a minor scaling nerf for the Fire to be coming out, the Scorched Earth to be coming out before the Frankfurt Major.
Oh, for sure.
We're already seeing some very different bases of strategies coming out of these teams. Boston University picking up a Venomancer. Typically right now, what you would want to see with a Venomancer is a more mid-game oriented strategy. A Shadow Fiend coming out implies a lot of physical damage coming out of your farming carry and a lot of physical damage coming out of your offlaner. So looks like University of Massachusetts actually maybe been watching a bit of Secret. They're going to pick up the Bane as well.
Absolutely. Definitely, they might be working that strategy. Now, here's another guy that we've seen quite a bit of, the armor reduction, very popular in this patch, as we talked about last Tuesday. Because, like you were telling me last Tuesday, for those of you who weren't here, Gordon was talking about the fact that this metagame really is sort of centered around a lot of physical damage, a lot of these big brutes that we haven't been able to see for a while coming out, and Slaughter's a great answer to that, because he's a brute himself, but he also has that armor reduction to deal with some of those really strong heroes that we've been seeing that are so popular in the current
meta. He pairs
meta.
Alongside those big brutes very well.
Yes.
In addition, for the obvious reason that he amplifies their damage tremendously. That's why they call that move Amplify Damage. But it's interesting to see the Slaughter come out with the Venomancer, just because Slaughter, he is a killing machine, right? He gets his farm basically by moving in on heroes, with the exception of if you do see a Blink Dagger, 4-staff support Slardar, which once again something Secret has been running through Nanyang and a little bit before. Not something we see terribly often, and it is a very difficult slot to run him in. So I would be kind of surprised to see it run. Certainly be surprised to see it run well at this level of play, but. The Venomancer also wants to go in through the mid-game, but in a different way, whereas Slaughter usually wants to pick fights that are usually 2-on-2, 2-on-3 in his favor, maybe even picking off some 1-on-1s. Venomancer wants to get as many heroes as possible close for that Poison Nova, and then force a fight near towers, really force your opponents to respond to some sort of aggression onto objectives. So they don't necessarily line up 1-to-1, and I'm interested to see how they bridge that gap between styles of those heroes' typical play.
Definitely. obviously always curious to see how these teams handle their drafts, right? Because you brought it up a little bit, the idea that this is collegiate Dota. This is not professional Dota. These guys don't dedicate their entire lives to the game. Some of them might want to one day. Some of them maybe not. That said, though, it's going to have a significantly different skill cap than what we're used to seeing when you say join us from Nanyang Championship or Starladder or something like that. That said, do you think... Oh, wow. Okay, so this actually plays into what I was going to say, or my question for you, Gorgon. And that is, do you think at a skill level that we expect to see here, that's not as advanced as the pros, is it important to sort of play your own draft instead of just the meta? And is Phantom Lancer a example of a team that knows their strengths and sort of catering to it?
Oh, wow. The picks are going very fast right now. This is Boston's draft is a little bit scattered. They're doing heavy magical damage with Earthshaker Venomancer, heavy negative armor physical damage with Templar Assassin Slardar. I'm interested to see what they do for their, I assume, second support to kind of once again bridge that gap. But to answer your question, I think the most important, especially for teams that are brought together by geography rather than play style, right? They're all from the same school. They're various styles and various frames of mind, various skill levels. You absolutely have to play to the strengths of your individual players. You have to bring them all up as close to the similar playing field as you can get to, and a lot of times that means just playing the heroes that they like the best, even if they don't synergize perfectly, even if they don't necessarily counter your opponent, even if they're not in meta, because you're going to get far more out of a player who's playing comfortably than you are going to get out of a hero who's playing in an optimal draft.
Absolutely. In fact, if you watch, I don't know if you had a chance to watch the ESPN 60 special on Evil Geniuses and their TI performance, AC was actually in it, and he made a very interesting comment that I thought was good. And he said, Dota is a game about teamwork, and every single time, teamwork will trump individual skill. And I thought that was a great observation. I think a lot of us know that or believe it. It's just something that it was good to hear said, and I think that caters to what you just said. The idea that if you play comfortable, if you play with heroes you know, synergy is important, but synergy as a team and players doing what they know they can do best is more important. Night Stalker and PAA, dang, picked up. And so what do you think of the final lineups as you look at this?
I'm trying to figure out if that's an off-lane Slardar or if it's a support Slardar. If it's a support Slardar, this is going to be a very interesting game. If it's off-lane, I have concerns that they are going to find themselves with an underfarmed core. So I hope it's support, and I hope they've run it. We're actually trading heroes now, so whatever that PA was supposed to be is now going to be what the Slardar is.
Or maybe it's just Boston University mind games. They are from the East Coast. People are a little bit sneakier there, as we all know from Belichick's time coaching the Patriots. That said, let's jump right into the introduction, guys. To the Dyer University of Massachusetts Amherst, we are going to have Dragonfire playing that Phantom Lancer. We're going to have Rain Heartsong on the Shadow Fiend. We're going to have Powerful Goku playing the Centaur War Runner. Steven will be on the Night Stalker. What a simple and nice name. Bane will be played by C, and last but not least, actually I think that's the entire team. Nope, that is everybody.
Yeah, all right, we're going to potentially see some movement out here. They were looking for a scout. They're not going to fight it. Ahead of the pack, it is going to be a Morav on the Phantom Assassin. Bingo sliding around on that Slardar. Coming up in the rear here, it is the DJ slinging out the hits on the Templar Assassin. Seiko is stomping around on the Earthshaker, and finally ML is making it sick on the Venomancer.
All right, that's the lineup as it stands. It should be a pretty good matchup here as everybody goes to their positions. Top rune going to be grabbed by the whole group, as will the bottom, so we won't see any early fights at these two runes. And when you look at the lineups, let's talk about laning phase and sort of what you think is going to be the most important positions to keep an eye on in this early match.
It really depends how these lanes end up shaking out. I'm still not 100% sure. I'm guessing the Slardar is going top, and we're going to have some early roaming coming out of these bottom supports. He can be okay off lane, right? Because he does have the ability to slide away with that sprint. There is not a lot of hard lockdown, at least not hard lockdown that can be used to secure kills. The Nightmare is there, but you can only get around a hero with that. You can't necessarily kill him while he's locked down. So Slardar will probably be okay if he's careful, but he'll be a bit underleveled and probably very underfarmed coming out of this lane.
Okay, so definitely a tough game for him. What about this mid matchup between the Shadow Fiend and the TA? What do you expect to come out of there?
Well, it's probably going to come down to individual play, especially at this level. Not to kind of harp on that too much. The refraction gives Templar Assassin a huge advantage, right? Because all of Shadow Fiend's damage comes in burst. It's either right-click or it is his Shadow Raises. And as soon as Templar Assassin manages to get that refraction up to level 2 or 3, I don't know that she'll be able to be harassed. She does already have her bottle out, so she should win this lane. I don't necessarily think that she'll be getting any kills, but I don't think that the Shadow Fiend is going to be harassing her away from the creeps anytime soon either.
All right, so it should be fairly even in terms of how they come out of this. Now, up on top, Slardar has been getting harassed pretty aggressively, able to dodge them for the most part. Are you seeing those banners up there, by the way? The university, I think it's the UMass banners. There's like weird and red. I don't know if it's a bug on my screen.
No, I don't see it, so
okay.
It must be.
Never mind. Okay, so those of you watching the stream get the benefit of seeing what ended up being a really cool-looking UMass banner. ML down the bottom, going to keep forcing back powerful Goku here, doing a good job. I went ahead and put that first point into Poison Sting to make it a little more difficult for Goku to stick around and try to get last hits. Again, Bingo going head-to-head with C. He's doing a lot of damage to him, but C's got that brain sap that's just making Bingo really, really frustrated here, as he can't seem to get anywhere near XP sapping, and I think that that's the key. Down the bottom, Goku is managing to stay in XP range.
An invisibility rune come out here in the Shadow Fiend. If they can get a kill, he saw that rune was gone and immediately backed up. Very smart of him. Let's see if he goes back in the lane and gets himself caught out by a Fissure, though, because if he dies here, he probably just lost the lane.
All right, on the bottom, by the way, almost lost Goku there as we saw a wraparound, and they might still do it. Amarov playing very, very aggressively, throws for the dagger. Goku had time to use his salve, though, as he turns back. In the mid position, they make the move on Heartsong, but Heartsong will be able to dodge the gank. At the same time, Bingo is now running away from what he thought was going to be him getting aggressed on. So all three lanes at the same time is Heroes basically dodging wraparounds.
Yeah, that was a nice attempt by the Earthshaker. It's really vitally important for them to either force the Shadow Fiend out of lane or ideally kill him before that 8-minute mark. That's when he will start to take away with the last hits. Up until then, it's usually traditionally very even between the Shadow Fiend and the TA. Around the 8-minute mark, the damage output from the Shadow Fiend becomes too much, and he can just outlast hit most opponents. So if you get rid of some of those souls and force him away from the lane for a little while, he actually will start to fall behind a bit.
Excellent. So it looks like that might be something that they have in mind, as Sekko is still staying here in the mid position, looking to try and make something happen. So Night Stalker comes down earlier than expected. Meanwhile, up on top, C and Bingo going head-to-head again. C doing a really good job of keeping Bingo as much out of XP range as possible. So Slardar is still level 1, whereas at least Goku's gotten to level 4. Meanwhile, let's go to the mid where they made the wraparound. Sekko went the long way, came in, got the Fissure, but it wasn't enough because TA wasn't in position. Sekko now wants to make the chase. TA a little bit deep. Here comes Steven. Puts up the shot, but, just a little bit of harass. Refraction, make sure that nobody can counter that. Is that enough to slow down Heartsong, or is he going to still be just fine?
It'll slow him down. It's not going to stop him. It's not going to be that oh, we won the lane moment, but he is walking all the way back, it looks like. So he does have a TP. He'll be back out in probably about 25 seconds.
Bingo.
So that's 2 waves.
Speaking of Bingo, it may not be Bingo, it might be Blackout, as Steven takes the corner, comes in, they lock him in place, hit him with the slow, pop him with the right clicks, and send him back to base. And that is going to be the first blood, the payoff for Steven as he comes all the way up to that top, or comes back to that top lane, I should say.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was worried about when we came into this game, and I said I hope it's not an off-lane Slardar, especially because there's been no rotations up there from supports. Now the support rotates up a bit late to help him. This is just an extremely risky call at all, because if you don't rotate the supports up before he falls too far behind in levels, then he's guaranteed to die. He's got nowhere else to catch up.
Right, and he's level 2. That's just it, right? Like, he is definitely not having a good game. It means that the aggression can start anytime they want to. Bane, who has been not even in lane, essentially, coming out just to right-click once in a while, is the same level. Now, he gets hit by the Fissure. Good move from Sekko to try and buy some space, but here comes Steven on the wraparound, puts up the slow, wants to go with the right-clicks. They know they want Bingo, but the stun comes out, and that leaves Sekko behind. Sekko should be tanky enough to get out of this one. Bingo comes in to help just in case, and will push Steven backwards. So a good team play there, having Sekko on standby to make that happen. Heartsong and the DJ over in the mid position exchanging blows as they both get to around the same health level. That said, TA lacks any real regen, is going to have to back away, and it looks like Heartsong may want to go for the rune. However, Sekko is going to come down there and secure that. Will he be able to, though, as Steven is also coming in, that Night Stalker, to go ahead and lock this thing down. So immediately Sekko has to fall back. He cannot stay, and that rune will presumably go to Steven.
Yeah, but I'm kind of surprised Steven took it and didn't leave it for Heartsong.
I thought he did for Heartsong for sure, yeah.
But, you know, to each their own. Heartsong is probably going to go back to base after clearing this camp.
Yeah.
This is really devastating. He has officially lost this lane. He's almost 10 last hits behind at 6 minutes. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I guess it's the silver lining is the top lane is going so exceedingly bad for Slarder that at least there's some silver to it. That said, the mid is a very important lane. Having your mid lose is a little bit worse, I think, than having Slarder fall behind. But we'll see as C gets hit pretty hard. Bingo doesn't have a lot of damage output, so C'll just wander away. Earthshaker opts to keep the Fisher. He is also only level 2, so we've got a level 2 and a 3, a combined 5 up here on the top lane, going up against a combined 9. So that definitely, I think, puts in perspective. But a good Fisher gets Dragonfire in some trouble. Dragonfire does have to back away.
So I'm going to disagree with you with circuitous logic here about the mid lane being more important than the off lane here.
Hold on one second. I thought Steve was going to kill. Take it back. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Keep an eye on that mid lane because it does look like Night Stalker is going to try to wrap around here pretty soon. Maybe he's going to go top instead. So this Slardar being so far behind is not just, our offlaner is behind. It is really two important factors. A, that also means that the Phantom Lancer is way ahead, right? And that's far more important than your mid being ahead, is having your farming carry ahead, at least in most draft strategies. The other thing is that Slardar is not a catch-up offlaner. Most traditional offlaners can go into the jungle and relatively easily knock down camps through one mechanism or another. You have even rocket flares that come out of a clockwork. You would have the Tide Hunters that you got an anchor smash, that sort of stuff.
Down the bottom, there's an engagement as Goku and Steven want to charge. They use the ultimate from the Centaur to make that engagement happen. Not going to work, though, as Amarov comes back in, puts up some harass. He gets hit with the slow. Steven thinking about chasing, but ML with that poison is just too strong in terms of keeping you considering dives, right? Because dives are punished significantly more when you've got that poison and the inability to escape at a high speed. So Night Stalker going to back away, not stick around. Probably the right choice. Meanwhile, in the mid, DJ has been enjoying free farm and is now going to rotate down towards that bottom lane, it looks like.
She's got a haste rune. This is a very deadly rune on a TA. There are a few heroes I would rather have a haste rune on than a TA. Not only is she able to slow you with that psionic trap so significantly, she can just get ahead of you. You literally can't hurt her because of refraction. She can get any angle she wants in order to get the optimal side blade usage. It's very rough.
Yeah, no, that's unfortunate. I say not unfortunately. Fortunately for UMass, Amherst, DJ hasn't been able to do much with it besides go back to lane. So that is,
They should have rotated with that. There's no reason to not go
100%.
top and kill a Bane.
A Bane who's only level 4. Now, the problem they're running into now is PL is sitting at a whopping 6, has already been utilizing that 6 to aggressively harass Bingo, who's just, I mean, he's got brown boots and he's level 4 still. It's just a really tough position to find your slaughtering, because I assume that they're planning on using him to a large extent for some of the initiation as this game continues.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet the Earthshaker's going to have to take the bulk of that duty to initiate, at least with the Fissure, and let the Sprint get in for the second stun, while the Earthshaker force staffs in for an Echo Slam. So it doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to afford a Blink Dagger anytime soon over here. Except maybe the TA. If that's the route TA wants to go, she's almost there. But everybody else is having a bit of a rough game, except the Phantom Assassin, who obviously won't get a Blink Dagger.
Now, I think I can mention this because Twitch is one of the sponsors for the tournament, and that is that the Caparos emote is awesome. Have you seen that yet?
Yeah.
I think they just showcased it in the Twitch chat. It's pretty phenomenal.
Top rune.
Top rune. Steven gets attacked by DJ. DJ wants to go through, gets a good meld strike, follows up, good slow. Steven almost down. Can they finish the job? Yes, they do. Down he goes. Heartsong does get off the ultimate. C comes from the back, wants to get the engagement here. Gets up a nice shot, but will it be enough as Heartsong is in some trouble? Another good trap by the TA. Survival of the Slardar as he gets away, but soaks up some XP. The DJ on the chase says, you're not worth the time, you're not worth the risk, you're not worth the money. Let's see, walks away happy with the 2 for none.
Yeah, Slardar, that was really key for him. Just having happened to have wandered by, right?
Boom,
that got
up
him
to 6,
to level 6, right?
That's huge.
That is enormous. Now he can rotate around with that TA, and they can just try to knock down some towers and force his PL to get out of lane a bit. open up some space for the Mortrid in the bottom lane.
Meanwhile, on the bottom, Steven came forward. Amarov made the dagger. He's got another one. He doesn't have a blink, though, so Steven should be able to get out of this. Uses the bottle charge just to be safe. Backs away. Meanwhile, in comes Goku. Tries to go in on Amarov. Amarov goes and hides in the trees. ML immediately comes out, starts throwing down wards and harassing Goku, just sucking away that health bar as fast as possible. Steven's still pretty low, though. Sees the free gold and has to take it. I do want to say, up on that top, TA, I was impressed at this level. I feel that it is rare to see players show the self-restraint that DJ did by not chasing that Bane into enemy territory.
I think she just realized Nightmare would make it impossible to catch, right? If you are chasing a Bane by yourself, unless you're burning, you can't do it. I don't know if you caught that game this morning.
I didn't.
So burning, DJ is going to be very deep with very little health here.
Gonna have to run, and she's getting out. Refraction charges start to drop low, but here comes Steven, moves around, gets the slow, gets the silent, the right clicks are there, the shadow rays, and that'll finish DJ off. Steven taking some damage from the tower, does not deny off onto anybody, so he will go down with the long distance throw from the PA to get the last hit. In comes Goku, gets a nice stun, Fisher to follow. It's gonna buy a little bit of space, and Sekko's gonna run for the high ground.
So what I was going to say is Burning was chasing Puppy's Bane, right? It was Burning from VG. Happened to have a creep that he had been stacking his Ancient stack with. It was over here on this area of the map. And he got hit with a Nightmare, and he used his creep to lift it immediately and continued to chase after the Bane.
Nice.
That's not a play that you would see at most levels, though. Most of the time, if you're chasing a Bane by yourself, you can't catch him.
That's a play you might not even see at pro levels 90% of the time.
That's a play that I have only seen 1 or 2 times before.
Right.
So it's not a play that's super common, just in general.
Absolutely. All right, take a quick look at the gold. 500 to the advantage of BU, 1,500 to the advantage of UMA in terms of the XP. Last hit winner for the game is PA. Let's look at the net worth right now. It is a race between the PA and the TA in terms of top farm, and that's not great news if you're on the side of Dire. PL looking pretty good, but the rest of his team starting to fall off a little bit. Now they see Bingo. Steven's got the thirst for blood. It's nighttime. He's got the backup. Now Goku says, I want it, but Steven says, no, we can't, and leads them backwards as the TPs come in to rescue Bingo. Bingo going to back off with a little bit of harassment from the Phantom Lancer.
This is an interesting conundrum if you are UMA. Just how do you approach this game? Because the PL is not really going to fear the amplified damage. He's not really going to fear the negative armor coming out of the TA because TA's burst, the side blades, that doesn't actually pierce illusions. So PL is functionally a really good counter to TA because of that. You can't clear masses of illusions with TA as quickly as you would expect, and also that negative armor doesn't get spread around like you would expect it to. So I would expect a pipe is the way to go to handle the Venomancer and the Earthshaker, but the problem with that is it leaves all the rest of his allies vulnerable to the negative armor.
Right.
So maybe a mechanism first into a pipe, or maybe the PL gets a casual hood of Defiance or something along those lines, or Planeswalker's Cloak even, just really until he needs the item slot, just to make sure that there's no good way to handle him.
Right, and it is worth noting he does have the Diffusal Blade up and running now, which is why he's causing so much trouble up there on that top position. Let's see what else, since we did check in on, let's see what other items are up as we will keep an eye on Steven for this wraparound. Looks like he's coming behind. He's going to see ML. ML's regenning some mana. Immediately the TP comes out from Orange to make sure that safety is maintained as they defend the crap out of this top tower. They did take the tier 1 on the bottom, so defending this does mean that that is a very comfortable tower exchange for them. But from the back comes Goku. The rest of the posse is not there to help out, so he's going to go in by himself, makes the move on Bingo, gets the double edge. There's the shots from PL. It's too much. Down he goes. Meanwhile, Goku caught inside of the Fisher. A beautiful play by Sekko, but it's not enough as he's able to walk around the outside, and the Shadow Fiend came in as well to make it a double. That's tough, man. We're
starting to see the long-term effects, the cancer of having underfarmed non-mid, right? The TA and the PA are doing great. That's wonderful. Your Venomancer's main damage output comes from either having level 11 or having a bit of farm. He's not going to have either one for quite some time. The Earthshaker's main method of damage requires maneuverability, and same for the Slardar. They are not really able to stand up to UMA right now, which is kind of devastating in this particular case.
Down the bottom, it was Bingo and PA trying to get a pick off on the Slardar, or the Night Stalker. Man, but he is, it's nighttime, so it was just too elusive, able to get out of what we thought was going to be a little bit of trouble for him. Meanwhile, the guys from UMA take that top tower, rotate down towards the mid to try and get this down before any sort of response can come out. Now, we do see 2 rotating in this direction, make that 3 with Bingo coming up through the jungle, but that could be dangerous as there are the entire team here. In goes Goku. He gets stunned by a nice play from DJ into the strike, but oh, she goes down. Amarov now dropping low, but Bingo is in awful deep, goes for Heartsong, putting the damage. C dropping low, knocks him out of the fight, but what can he do as Heartsong's taking all of this damage from the wards, from the Venomancer ultimate. That ultimate is just too strong, but Steven wants to come in and try to mop up. He almost does it, but the Fisher, well played by Seko. Too much tower damage combined with an Earthshaker who was a lust for blood.
And then the deny.
And then the deny of the tower.
Oh,
or
he
not.
decided not to. Oh, whatever. More power to him, I guess. No, there we go.
Okay. My only thought, I thought maybe he was going to hold it for a TP out from PA.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, right? But why would you go out to that lane?
So I was
wondering.
I'm going to assume he hit it and then went, oh, wait a minute. Hey, PA, do you want to TP out here? And then went back and killed it. So that's the only thing I can think of for why you would stop
it
and deny midway through.
He might have been waiting for his next enchant totem too.
That's true.
Slam it twice. I don't know why you would waste the mana, but whatever. It's 20 mana. Who cares?
It's fun. It's fun to enchant totem.
But I mean, Seko just perfectly positioned for that fight and just made that happen. Maybe a bit aggressive from UMA. They all grouped up into a team that really wants that, knowing that Venomancer's ult was going to be coming out here pretty soon.
I mean, if he keeps playing like this, he's going to go from amateur Seko to pro Seko in a short period of time.
He's certainly well on his way down that winding path. I will also say, and this is a beautiful period of time for BU to try to assert some control, because the presence of the Dark Lord Aura is only level 1. As that starts to scale up, the damage output coming out of UMA is going to be absolutely ridiculous. Remember, Diffusal Blade is physical damage, so negative armor does amplify the Diffusal Blade damage as well.
Oh, Fisher lock in. Seko's going to lead, but he takes a lot of damage before the Echo Slam goes off. He does get it off, but only catches 2. Goku wants to run. Here comes ML. He puts up a nice little slow, but the damage is too great. PL is there. The ultimate pops out from Shadow Fiend as he actually went down, and PL's not done. He wants to make the chase continue, and he's going to try to back out here. He wants Amarov. Amarov trying to finish Goku. Goku is going to escape. Amarov may actually survive this as he had a full wand set up, and this may be the end of Dragonfire. No, he gets the PL for the price of the PA, and it ends up being a 3 for 3. So, or maybe not, as Steven and the DJ continue to go head-to-head.
ML has ult. There it is.
There it is. So, ult from ML. Goku going to drop low. Probably going to die as he's got the poison on him. Steven with a beautiful Fisher coming out of Seko finishes the job and makes it a 5-man wipe that I did not see coming. I thought it was going to go 3 for 3 disengage.
As soon as that Venomancer came in, you knew UMA stayed way too long. You can't fight into Poison Nova. That's the thing. That's why I had said, like, maybe they'll get a pipe or at least some casual magic resist on at least the Phantom Lancer.
Right.
Because the Venomancer's, just his pure damage output after his recent rescaling is insane, especially at level 11. Especially if he manages to get an Ags, which he is not doing. He did pick up a Glimmer Cape instead, presumably in order to do some positioning, because there's not a ton of magic damage in order to offset.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what he does with this. I think it's not a bad choice. I think
it's to help the Slardar initiate.
Right,
and Glimmer Cape on him.
I think that his team, the lineup that he has with the PA and the Slardar and the TA, is going to get really, really strong around the time that he's sort of hitting that 13 or 14 level, falling off. And doing this with the Glimmer Cape is going to make them even stronger into that sort of, I don't want to say late game, but early late game. Is that a category?
Yeah, it's the transition between mid and late.
And I think that that's where BU's really going to shine. If they catch Steven, maybe they start to shine now as they get a beautiful little pickoff. Bingo going for the chase, does not have a Blink Dagger though, so the team is going to have to back away as Dragonfire is scary. He's got that Vlad's offering, he's got that Diffusal Blade. He has a really strong fight potential at this point in time. Now, PL, here's a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
At 20 minutes in, at 20 minutes in with a PL, you sort of have a choice, right? You can start pushing lanes and continue your farm, or show up at these fights. What do you think is the and do you think that that's the right choice? I guess is the real question.
If they can coordinate a bit better, right now their coordination has been lopsided at best. and that's been leading to some tailing fights.
Oh,
here.
bro,
DJ's gonna get
DJ caught inside of the grasp. He does get out. Nice start. Echo slam from behind. Goku gets hit, but he gets a stomp off. Hits the double. Amarov and Seko are put in the pound. Dragonfire wants to make the chase. He sees a angry little snake and wants to try to take him down. The follow is there. Goes on DJ. He's got a couple of charges left, but they're going to fall off awful fast. Dragonfire to put in work. Steven comes from behind. There's the ulti from ML, but it's not going to save him. The question is, will it get return kills? He will maybe get saved by the Glimmer Cape. Yes, he does. He gets out of there, baby. But he's being chased from behind. In comes Bingo to help out. Gets the stun on Steven. Meanwhile, the fight's still going on as DJ's gone invisible. They don't have any reveal.
Wow, DJ was playing with fire. He could blink for almost 3 whole seconds before he decided to. He was thinking about re-engaging. There's no other reason for him to have stayed as long as he did.
I think he was thinking, should I Meld Strike, then blink? Are they fast enough?
Yeah.
Are they fast enough? And he decides to just back out, makes the right choice. That was quite the play. A nice job by AML getting in there, getting the ulti off from the high ground that caught a huge portion of heroes, and then managed to get out with that Glimmer Cape, and I think that just justified that purchase.
If he had had a bit more mana, that probably would have been a 4-man wipe, but unfortunately Poison Nova by itself doesn't do enough damage, and it also is non-fatal, right? You cannot kill a hero with Poison Nova. You need to get a Plague Ward out so that it can do Poison Sting.
All right, Blink is now up on Bingo. We saw Amarov go in, wants to make the play. Heartsong puts up the ultimate. Amarov maybe a bit too aggressive. He goes down to the Shadow Rays. That leaves it as a 5-for-4 as they face off here in the mid lane. UMA is happy with that, and they will back away. UMass Amherst with a very good kill in the taking down of that PL. That was absolutely what they wanted out of that.
Oh, you mean PA. PA. PL is happy-go-lucky down in the bottom lane.
Yes, the PA.
Yes. This game is starting to get to the point where I would not feel comfortable betting on either team right now. You know what I mean? Either team can go into the late game very effectively. I would say maybe BU goes in a bit stronger just because they have better general pushing out of their supports. Like their high ground defense is a bit better. Their ability to move into towers is just a touch better. Right. But the Centaur is great at that with return if you go late enough. The Shadow Fiend is great at counter-initiating. The PL is obviously great at ratting, which is a very effective strategy in these sorts of games that are hard to predict. This lined up to be a very exciting maybe next 20 minutes of this game.
Now let me also kind of bring this up. Heartsong is doing pretty well. He's got a mech, he has a Mithril Hammer, but I'm used to, when we watch these games, Gorgon, seeing the Shadow Fiend out on top of that farm list. And I know he's up against PL, who's traditionally a very good farmer. That said, is it me, or should he be a little farther ahead in terms of his net worth at this point?
He fell way behind in his lane. Oh, they're going to get a curry if they want it. They do. It's going to give up their smoke for at least...
Look at him go! Scrapper! Scamper! Here comes DJ. Oh, they bought it! DJ's going to go down. Oh, the stun from behind Seko with a massive fissure. They finish the job. He jumps out. Dragonfire makes his copies. He gets hit by the Echo Slam right away. Nice play by ML to put out that poison. And now Goku's on the run. Can he get out of here? No! He's going to get turned into a mess, as will Heartsong. Gets off the ultimate, takes out one, but gives up 4. The courier bait. I haven't seen a play like that in ages. As you...
That wasn't even intentional. There was smoke. The courier just walked by, and you instantly saw what I was talking about, the disjointed teamwork coming out of UMA. Nightstalker hit it. As soon as he hit it, Centaur and Bane went running the other way, saying, oh, he gave up the smoke. We've got to bail. 2 members of the team, however, continued forward, and they were not at all prepared. If they had all gone forward, or if they had all backed up, they would have had a much less lopsided trade. But with 2 forward, 2 back, and 1 not even really part of the smoke at all, there's no way to win that fight. You just can't do it.
Now, yeah, and also take nothing away, a great initiation from Seko, putting him out in front. A huge fissure, I think it caught 3. Then holding the Echo Slam, whether it was on purpose or not, until PL utilized his skill for the escape, so he came back with the copies. It was just beautiful. It was just a great combo, executed perfectly by BU. And really the assist, I think the MVP in that whole fight, most would say Seko, but I'm going to say Courier.
Wait, who was calling the Courier, though?
Oh, that's a good point. It was probably...
top lane.
Ooh, so Nightstalker comes in. Dragonfire, they're making a move on him. Bingo wants to chase. Blink Dagger off in 4. In comes Bane. Gets up a nice Fiend's Grip. Amarov dropping low. Goes invisible. He's going to go down as Dragonfire turns around. Steven has arrived. Bingo trying to TP out. Can they stop him? They don't have a stun. Yeah, they do. Sorry, Bingo. Your line has been filled, and he is sent back to base.
Yeah, that nightmare, and immediately lifted by the Spirit Lance was. It almost looked like they had been communicating how they wanted to go about that.
I think
That
it's
was
safe
nice.
to assume that University of Massachusetts Amherst does support a Skype program on their campus internet.
They are going to probably push onto this tower. The Venomancer has an ultimate in 13 seconds. They might be able to get the tower, but if they stay too long, they will probably lose some heroes for it. We'll see what they want to do.
UMass is having a great game so far. They're pulling
A lot
back.
faster than I expected it to be.
Yeah, that thing's
Where's the damage coming out from?
Uh,
On towers, they don't really have anything.
1221. I don't know. I guess that PL effectively used his illusions, maybe?
No, there was really nothing there. I just miscalibrated how much health that tower has, I guess.
Intriguing.
A rare but noticeable football misstep on my part.
For what it's worth, BU was up by almost 5,500 gold at one point in the net worth. It's been pulled back pretty significantly to about 3,500. XP is about the same boat. So BU off to a strong start, even though the starter really struggled. Since then, University of Massachusetts has really been able to get themselves back in this on the back of that Night Stalker, on the back of some of these plays have just been really, really strong. And the only thing I think is holding UMass back has been really that fight that they lost horribly.
A couple of them.
Especially the one in the
lost
jungle.
A couple really big fights. They've had been 4-man wiped 3 times, I think, right? So.
And that's kind of, I guess if you're UMass and you're looking towards the future, this is a long season to come. When you look at a game that doesn't go as well, or even if you end up losing, that's what you want to see, right? You want to see your loss maybe coming from 1 or 2 bad team fight decisions instead of overall domination on lanes or things like that, because that tells you that you can fix that, and you can fix it fairly quickly by working on communication and team.
Yeah, it really depends on how your team is. Bingo is.
Steven wants to go for Bingo. Bingo gets hit. DJ's there, puts up the slow, makes the jump, goes in after Steven. He's trying to close the distance, pops the meld strike. Steven's fast, though. It's nighttime. Procced by his ultimate. Here comes Bingo. The slow comes out again. Bingo does not want to engage into that. Cannot blame him for it. BU shows a little bit of strength and backs away to go stop the push on the tower. Tower very low, should be in deny range, so they'll go ahead and take that out and prevent that gold from going to the University of Massachusetts.
So, for the record, when that courier was dragged...
I just read that too.
Yeah. For anybody who's watching the VOD, somebody in the chat is his roommate and said that, or his housemate or something, and said that he could hear Bingo shouting from his room regarding that. So definitely not an intentional bait.
Damn, I was giving you the benefit of the doubt. I thought that was some next level stuff there.
No
oh well.
But they had no idea, right? They had no vision. It was undercover smoke.
True. That's hilarious. Oh, that is true. They were smoked. Okay.
Right.
So they saw him come out there. No, the courier. That's great stuff, though. And, you know, that's Dota. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes you get lucky in your positioning. Gold lead is at a 2,500. XP is back in BU's favor to 5,000 right now. Items that have come out recently or are notable, Earthshaker and Slardar and TA are all sporting that Blink Dagger that we've seen used. Phantom Assassins rocking the Battle Fury as well as the Yasha. We still have the Aegis up on TA as well as the BKB about to be done. And obviously the Glimmer Cake on Venomancer, which I was questioned about, but has turned out to be a very strong pickup as he's been utilizing it very well in these fights to get into position to hit some pretty rockin' ultimates. Phantom Lancer has the Fusel Blade, picked up a Reaver to go along with that. We got the mech on Shadow Fiend, which honestly doesn't feel like it's had that big of an impact in this game so far.
No, it hasn't, but that's, once again, because of the positioning and the communication between the team. The Ags is almost done on the Night Stalker. He's about 800 gold away.
DJ's going deep. He decides to back away, makes an engagement, but Goku thinks he wants to go in, does a blink, gets the stun, but only on Bingo, not on DJ. DJ comes through, nice melt strike, but out comes the vision. DJ dropping pretty low all over the place, Amarov dropping low as well. C gets a huge face grip, it's an Echo Slam, baby, but it's still a 2 for 2. Aegis bringing him back to life. This is bad for UMass as they come back up. Dragonfire dropping fairly low. If they can finish Dragonfire, they are in great shape. BU putting in some work. Dragonfire trying to run for the hills. He gets body blocked in place. He gets knocked out. It's a 5-man wipe. BU says this is our game. I don't care how good you were doing it trying to get this thing under control because we want it and we're pushing. And they're pushing now. They've got 18 seconds and only 1 buyback on the side of UMass. Do they have the damage to take this tower?
Oh yeah, for sure. They have a Desolator up on the Templar Assassin. They're going to roll through this tower with no problem. They've got Plague Wards, which granted they don't do a ton to towers, but they do clear out creeps pretty effectively. And when you get enough of them up, the damage threat, I mean, we're looking at racks here, potentially.
All right, so now we do have the Shadow Fiend and the Centaur. They have strong initiation. Have to be aware of that as the TP comes in. It looks like they're going to go. In comes Goku, gets a nice stun on ML. ML left behind. He's going to be the sacrificial lamb for the team. And they get a tower for a Veno as well as that 5-man wipe. So, you know, BU's happy as a clam. Their Goldie's going to jump up to 7,500. XP is already there. Items will be finished. And Mass Desolator, like you saw on the PA, along with the finished up Black King bar. It's just, I don't know. What do you do as UMass? Are they still totally in this thing, or did that kind of nail a coffin shut?
They're in it. The Phantom Lancer is close to heart, but they
like
can't be giving up as much as they've been giving up.
No.
Right? That's really what it comes down to. They need to get, for one thing, Medallion of Courage. The fact that they don't have one is startling to me, and I really, truly mean startling that they would be dire side with this much physical damage and would not get the Medallion of Courage. So the reason you need that, and we've got some time, which is good because this rant could last a while. You've got dire side positional advantage for entering the Roche pit, but you have a huge disadvantage, like a massive statistical disadvantage. If you are dire side and giving up Roches to the Radiant, your win rate plummets by like 30-ish%. It's enormous. In addition, if you have a lot of physical damage, the most effective way to increase your team's damage output is by building negative armor. Armor itself scales non-linearly when defending, but it is still the most effective way to increase damage by reducing armor.
All right, they've invested a lot in trying to get a kill here on Amarov. They just barely miss it. Goku comes in, throws the stun, but Amarov smelled it and was able to TP to safety. Meanwhile, DJ joins the rest of the posse. They pop a smoke. They're being chased by Amarov, so the whole crew is here. They'll get an engagement on Steven. Steven's all alone, and bingo was his initiation as he gets a nice little kill. Now they start to make the follow-up. Heartsong's going to go for the TP. They don't have the stun for him, so he will manage to get away back to base, but that was a great play for UMass. They forced the rotation. I'm sorry, great play for BU as they forced the UMass rotation to the top lane, utilize that TP, and immediately smoke and rotate with the bait on track. So it was just a good execution, a good rotation that forced UMass into a tough position, and down that Night Stalker, BU can push without a second thought.
I do really like, out of all the problems that I called out with this Slardar pickup, which I stand by, they did have all those problems, but they have fortunately just had superior teamwork to overcome them. One really nice thing about this Slardar pickup is that the Amplify damage does counter a ton of what the Night Stalker provides, because it gives you that vision despite the fact that nighttime curtails how much you can see. So that you used to see Bounty Hunter picked up for that same reason, but now Bounty Hunter doesn't provide you any AoE vision. But if Slardar does manage to get a track up on the Night Stalker during night, you're good to go, right? All your problems are solved. Now,
this is an example. Amherst clearly has struggled with the rotations coming out of BU and the ganks. If you look at the vision that Dire has put up, you'll see that right now. They have a nice little wall of vision here to make sure that nobody enters their side of the map without some form of notification. That said, we see BU using smoke ganks very aggressively because UMass feels comfortable in their jungle. They feel like they have the defense to get out there and try to get some farm, and we saw that backfire pretty aggressively last time around.
Yeah, this is just a situation right now where UMA needs to curtail the bleeding. Like, they need to get the tourniquet on. They need to get some control. They've been really good, surprisingly good, about keeping vision up and making sure that they have some access to their own jungle. They have not been very good about making sure that they are counter-warding. I think buying a gem would be a worthwhile investment right now. Even if they just take it out to scout out this portion of their jungle to make sure that they can get to their camps without being jumped on, right? Especially after that kill onto the Night Stalker, onto Steven. They should know something is up somewhere around here. And especially, again, with the TA, there's a lot of especiallys in this situation.
Well, here's an especially. It's especially bad news for University of Amherst, as Boston has gone in, picked up the Aegis, and put it on the PA, who's becoming quite a lot to deal with, already at 200 damage. Going to have a lot of crit with that Manta-style Battle Fury, a lot of damage output available. And immediately, Amaral is going to go right down the middle lane and start to show confidence in terms of what his team is capable of doing. He knows up on top that Dragonfire is out of position, so maybe they're going to try to push a little bit here.
Yeah, they are in a bit of trouble town right now. I'm not sure how they're going to do this. They don't have the rat potential out of the PL to force any teams back. So they are presumably going to have to give up a Rax here unless they get just basically BU has to screw the pooch. They need to shit in their bed.
And in they go. That's not going to happen. Big initiation. Heartsong go boom. Amarov turns on C. C gets up the grasp. Nice play on Amarov. Buys some time. He'll go down, but that's an Aegis, baby. As he comes back up, it's a 4-man. White PL. TP's back, but to what effect? Is too little, too late is a phrase that you can utilize here. Dragonfire is going to go ahead and use his dodge to get away from Amarov. Amarov just lays into it, kills the illusion, says get out of here, then blinks after him, and finishes off the PL with a masterful crit right to the face. Amarov headshot, and the crew take the front. Headshot, right? It was
no scope.
It really was though, because he like no scoped in and got the headshot. Goes up, buys his next piece of gear, the Skull Basher, finishes off the mid racks, finishes off the top tower, and we'll see both top racks go as well. Potentially even the third series, as we got another 15 seconds really till the fight gets back underway. And honestly, I don't think Centaur Bane can do anything. That Shadow Fiend's got to come out for them to really be able to stop this. But I don't know if BU's moving fast enough to finish off the whole set.
That crit that killed him was a 444 damage crit.
That's pretty brutal.
That's pretty brutal, yeah. Especially if you're already a bit behind.
Yeah.
And you're, 1-on-5 because your team died. Because there's no way to stand up. I don't know why. They must be having discussions regarding next draft or something, because there's no coming back from this at this point.
All right, Heartsong comes in, wants to engage immediately. The initiation wrecks him down. Bago takes some damage. Amarov gets stunned. He is getting low. No more Aegis for him. Goes underneath it, but he's putting in some serious work. Moves on Goku, moves on C. Steven's going to go down. Vision is popped out. Immediately C drops as well because Amarov is still standing tall. Very low, but good to go as they finish off the heroes. They get a 4-man second wipe. PL's the last man standing. Amarov wants a chance to get another one of those crits. He's getting pretty hard here, but PL just can't even go on it. Amarov almost blinked.
What could he do?
He was thinking about it.
He's going to be moved on, though.
Here he goes. He gets in a position. In they go. Ring around the Dragonfire, and pop goes the PL as he gets dropped down, sent back. Both racks, all three. Last two towers are a walk in the park. And University of Massachusetts Amherst clearly stands by the philosophy of it's not over till the ancient dies. But I hate to break it to you guys, because it happened at the entry to the high ground. This should be BU's game unless they decide that they want to turn around and go back to base in this first matchup of Collegiate Star League.
Finish them off at this point.
That's a good point.
I don't even think they need to be here for this. Yeah.
There's the GG finally from Goku, and that will be the end of the first game. Boston University takes down their crosstown rival, University of Massachusetts Amherst, as we get through the first of this best of three from the Collegiate Star League. My name is Toffees. You can find me at Toffees TV over on Twitter, and I'm joined here by my co-caster, my partner in crime here every week, Tuesday and Thursdays. Gorgon the Wonder Cow, where can these fine folks find you?
Hey guys, you can find me over at The Wonder Cow, where you'll find links to my casting here, as well as all my writing at basically everywhere that carries Dota materials.
He's basically like the American Express of Dota. Everywhere that you want to read is Gorgon, and you can find him there.
Accepted everywhere.
Except
my writing is
you
accepted
are.
there.
You are accepted everywhere. You're like whole milk. It's delicious. All right. That said, guys, stick around. I'm going to play some music, hang out in Twitch chat, and we'll get the next game up and running as soon as it is ready. This is the Collegiate Star League, the finest in collegiate Dota, a best of three between Boston University and University of Massachusetts Amherst. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. And as always, mi amigos, Toffees out. Good evening and welcome back to the Thursday Night Dota. This is Toffees. You can find me at Toffees TV over on Twitter, and I'm joined by my co-caster Gorgon the Wonder Cow. You can find him at the Wonder Cow in the same place, and it's time for the best show in collegiate Dota, and that is this Thursday night. It's Boston University Division I matchup against University of Massachusetts Amherst, which I'm apparently told that the Amherst tag on the back of U of M means that they are across the state, not across the city from each other. That said, the first game was a good one. It was a barn burner with Boston University coming out on top off of some really great plays that just kept catching UMass out of position. And that's what, to me, it was a story of positioning and execution. A lot of that laying on the back and the play of Secco for Boston University.
Yeah, I really hope that, especially for University of Massachusetts, I would really like to see them work on that communication throughout this game and throughout the season. That is one of the hardest problems as a team to not crumble under, because almost every pro team that you see falls apart because there's a communication at the base of the way that the players understand the game with each other, right? They just don't sync, is what you hear a lot. Oh, there's just not chemistry. Finding that chemistry is something that's really difficult to do if you're not quite there yet. It's much easier to play with people who are of different skill levels, but all have a generally similar idea of how the game should be played.
Yeah, definitely. And we saw Boston University and UMass both sort of played to their strengths, did what they knew how to do. And in fact, we're getting more inside information from Redug in Twitch chat, who I think lives with one of the guys, that one of the teams actually said, you know, you're a 2K Magnus. We're not going to pick him. And I think that, like you said, that caters especially to this level of play at the collegiate. These aren't pros. They don't have as big of a hero pool as somebody like Burning might have. And that definitely is going to affect the draft. Silencer and Venge going to get picked up by BU. Venomancer, who was very effective in the last game, albeit for Boston University, is going to get picked up this time by University of Massachusetts.
I think Vengeful Spirit is a strong hero. In this meta, just in general, I'm kind of surprised that she doesn't get picked up more. Just, once again, in general, she's got a nice hard stun. She has that negative armor to go with all the physical damage carries that come out. She increases damage output for the same reason. She decreases opponent damage output, and she has a great initiation. I especially at this level of play, right, where a sudden swap can cause complete bedlam in your opponent's race. And also, she is one of the only heroes, she's one of 5 heroes whose win rate goes up as her death rate goes up. Right? It's her and Io, Clockwork is one of them, and there's 2 others. This is all data from like 6 months ago, so it's not 100% correct with this patch, but you get the general idea. There are certain heroes that are really good at sacrificing. So if you have a player who's not super stellar, who's not quite on the same level as everybody else at your university, or at least for your university team, you throw them on a Vengeful Spirit and they can still make great plays and then just die, and they've already done their job.
They've done their job.
They did the swap save.
And honestly, I think something else, and you brought this up a little bit with Venomancer in the last game, that Vengeful Spirit is often underrated for is the incredible amount of vision that she gets from that Wave of Terror. The fact that she can check lanes as you push, can use the idea to, especially in the laning phase, sort of figure out where potential ganks or rotations are coming from. It's a really strong spell outside of just the armor reduction, especially in terms of getting those ganks, getting those smokes, making that stuff sort of work for you. I really like her. I think that she's a great hero, and she sort of fulfills what we see in the CSL, because in the CSL, or the Collegiate Star League, this season, I feel like we get one of 2 games. We get a very fast-paced game with early rotations and lots of death, or we get a long 65-minute game that's all about sort of transitioning your entire team into carry items. And Vengeful Spirit, I think, works really well in that fast tempo game, but she also transitions well for me into having some damage output and some functionality in the late game.
Oh yeah, she can hard carry pretty effectively. She's not the best hard carry for a couple of reasons, one of which is that she doesn't splash damage, and there's no real good way to make her do that. The other one is that she doesn't siege towers that well or split push. And finally, honestly, her health gain is not great, so that she can kind of be bursted down in the late game. So she's if you do build her as a farming carry, she's really best before the super late game. But even so, especially as a support, she scales into a semi carry very effectively.
Now, here's here's my favorite pick of the night, right? You know I love the Wind Ranger. I love seeing her come out. She's great to see. And she adds something to the draft where you're looking at it right now and you're still sort of saying who's going where, because there's a lot of flexibility on the side of BU. Technically, Venge can be a hard carry, though that's not going to happen here tonight.
Probably not. It could be. We don't know.
We don't know.
Might be pulling out some. It's CSL, man. We just saw an offlane Slardar, right? You
Right.
don't see that often.
That's true. That's true. You never know. Gyrocopter going to get picked up here, but I like the Wind Ranger because it leaves a lot of questions. So University of Massachusetts in their next ban really doesn't have anything to go off of. Now they know a hard carry is probably going to come out here, so we'll see them ban that. I personally, what do you ban here? I think something that's going to be very late game, right? Because Boston University has so much aggression and initiation at the particular moment.
So I think that's an offlane Wind Ranger in a mid Queen of Pain.
Yes, I agree.
I kind of support the Silencer carry right now.
Yeah?
I do. And part of that is just because the pure damage that comes out of Glaives of Wisdom would be really effective at neutralizing Centaur War Runner. And you can't really justify a Glaives of Wisdom priority build on a support Silencer. So in the mid game, a carry Silencer would be more effective at neutralizing basically what they have. And it's also great at chewing through the Cold Embrace, right? Which doesn't make you pure damage immune, just makes you physical damage immune. So they could go for a late game carry and try to just go toe-to-toe with the Gyrocopter. I think if the Silencer is not their carry, they're probably going to get something more mid-game oriented.
Right.
I'm just not sure what they would want to do. Maybe something like the Juggernaut would be pretty good.
I am the Juggernaut. Centaur War Runner, the
The
AoE of this team, University of Massachusetts, if they catch Boston out of position, is just going to completely melt their faces, both at the 15, 16-minute mark and at the 35-minute mark.
Yeah, it's definitely an all-around problem.
Yeah.
I think a Rubik would be really strong here, too.
I like that PO ban.
Especially if the Silencer is going to be a carry, a Rubik would be extremely valuable here. You get a casual null field level earlier than you normally would to help deal with the Venomancer ultimate. It would also help to offset a bit of the risk of the Winter's Curse, right? Because as long as Rubik doesn't get caught, he can almost always steal that spell, which is fantastic. Call Down is a great spell to steal. So is Poison Nova. There's really no bad spells to steal here. If you do get sieged with the Venom against the Venomancer with the Rubik, you can seal the Plague Ward almost every single time, and then you can defend with the Plague Ward.
Though if you pick up the Rubik and Silencer becomes your hard carry, does Silencer have the damage to take you into the late game, or are you going to be forced to really try to push these towers down and break high ground by the 40-minute mark?
Silencer is one of the most or best scaling damage outputs in the game.
Okay.
Period. He's one of the hardest carries in terms of damage output. Period. At all. One of the so that is for a couple of reasons. One of them is that a good chunk of his damage is pure. So you don't have to worry about the fact that your opponents are scaling up armor. You're chewing through that regardless. The other thing is that, remember, he scales infinitely. So if you're doing well, if your team is getting kills, he continues to scale. The only big problem with Silencer in the late game is that he doesn't chew down towers effectively, and he doesn't chew through creeps super effectively in the late game in terms of pushing or split pushing, that sort of stuff. So he is kind of dependent on either having a split pushing semi-core along with him or doing a lot of team fighting and defending in the late game.
Now, we saw Necrophos picked up. I presume this will be an ancient Necrophos for the team. I'm kidding. Necrophos will, I think, be that hard position. No chance of a support Necrophos here, right?
There's some chance of it.
I guess there's always a chance. I guess there's always a chance, right?
I don't know that I would think a support Necro would be worse than
a support Silencer.
Yeah, I mean, I like support Silencer, don't get me wrong. I just think in this case, what that Silencer offers in the carry position is so much stronger than what he offers in the...
Could you see a support Wind Ranger and an aggressive tri-lane?
I could definitely see that. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's an offlane.
It's an offlane because Bingo played
there you go.
Their Slardar last time.
I think it's... I guess it looks like it's support Silencer, right? Because that was our Venomancer last. So
Secco played the Earthshaker.
Oh, no? Are you sure?
Well, yeah.
I think it was the Venomancer last game. I might be wrong.
All right, so
he was a support one way or the other, right?
Yeah, I guess we are arguing half a dozen one way, six the other. Right. That's it. Let's do some quick introductions while we have the opportunity to do so in this matchup, this cross-state matchup between University of Massachusetts Amherst and Boston University. For the Dire side, we're going to have Amarov playing the Necrophos, headed out to the safe lane. We're going to have the DJ spitting the hits on the Queen of Pain. We're going to have Bingo running around on the Wind Ranger hoping for a blackout. We're going to have Seko on the Silencer. And this is a guy who we're hoping can prove that he has a chance to go pro as we continue to watch him in this match. ML, the last man standing on this side, will be playing the Vengeful Spirit.
And down here in the Radiant safe lane, we are going to have Dragonfire soaring around on that gyrocopter. It's going to be C chilling out on the Winter Wyvern. Steven is making it sick on the Venomancer. We have Rain Heartsong burning up on the Lina. And last but not least, Powerful Goku is stomping around on that Centaur War Runner.
And that is the guy he played last time around. So we're going to see if the Centaur has the effect that it did last time. Powerful Goku had a little bit of trouble. He did okay. I'm sorry. The beginning was okay. I feel like he wasn't as effective with his ultimate as they would have liked him to be. That said, he did have a good game. I mean, not the best. They lost, obviously. Yeah. So
I think the problem with him is his game last game is that the communication wasn't there to support the use of Stampede or support the initiation.
That makes sense.
That might be his problem, that he's not communicating to his team what needs to happen. It might be an all-team problem, or it might be some of the other players are not listening. I don't know what the problem is, but it definitely came down to some sort of communication issue.
So not what DJ wanted as his first skill. He comes in, he's looking around, he get hit immediately by Venomancer with the Venomous Gale and has to scale Blink to escape, so won't have that dagger to help out with these early last hits. Goku on the top lane is already getting harassed by ML and Seko as they're going to make it a big pain. And this is going to be a super, super tough lane for Goku as we already see Silencer putting those. He actually went Glaives of Wisdom first for additional damage output instead of going where I thought he might go Curse of the Silent.
So it's not the most uncommon support build to do Glaives of Wisdom first, but what you normally won't see, and here's the reason for that. He can stand here and he can orb walk and he will never take aggro, right? Look at him. He's right next to a creep. And as long as he does it right, the creeps will not aggro him because he's casting an orb effect, and he will get a kill here, looks like.
That'll be the end of him. First blood.
Wow.
Meanwhile, on the bottom, Steven got very close to going down. Hit out in the trees, and DJ just did not have the willingness to risk a blink finish, but just right-clicked him down. Very, very low. That said, though, great plays by BU. Early attack on Goku, and Goku may find himself in a very similar position that Slardar found himself to in the last match in the same spot.
Oh, we're going to have Buzz. Now, here's the problem or here's at least the nicing, I guess. I'll instead of phrasing it like a problem for one team, I'll phrase it like a benefit for another team. Centaur, as a quote-unquote traditional offlaner, has a way to clear jungle camps. So if his supports are going out and putting down work in the jungle, he can move into the jungle with the double edge and very quickly catch back up if he falls behind. So it's okay if he's not getting his levels. It's okay if he's not getting his farm. Unlike the Slardar last time, where what is he going to slithering crush down giant camps? That'll take forever to do. He doesn't really have a good catch-up mechanic. The only way he can do it is if his team is creating opportunities for kills, and he's kind of piggybacking off of that.
Well, let's check in with the stacks so far to see if that's what is going to happen for Powerful Goku. All right, let's check this camp. That's no stacks. This camp, no stacks, no stacks, no stacks. Oh, so far not the greatest stack start, as Goku's definitely going to need those once he starts to leave that lane. He does reconnect.
There's only one chance to stack right now, right?
Yeah, well, it's unacceptable, Gorgon. We need stacks for days.
They need to make sure they get their gyrocopter off to a good start against Queen of Pain.
DJ is actually about to get initiated on,
she
right. No, the pause was actually pretty.
Got
I think that the pause was fortuitous for DJ. We'll have that escape.
I don't think this would have been anywhere near a kill anyway. She worst case scenario can blink over here and they can't touch her. So.
DJ and Steven going head-to-head now. Steven knows she's going to stick around and put out damage, so he did a good job, and he pinged high to the Winter Wyvern and said, I want you to wait up here because DJ's going to try to fight with me. And they're able to get significantly more damage and force her very far back because of that team play coming out of that.
She played that really well. A lot of players would have just blinked away before starting to run from Steven because it would create less opportunity for you to get right-clicked.
Right.
She would have saved more health. But had she done that, she might have died to the Winter Wyvern. So the choice to take extra right clicks for the safety of being able to blink farther because you walked a bit of the distance ended up being really wise.
All right, now let's keep looking around the map here as we do see last hits. The Necrophos up on top. Obviously, the Centaur having a tough go of things, only level 2, and now he's getting harassed. Wicked aggressive. Look how low he gets off of that combination coming out of the Silencer, and he bought a ton of tangos, but that regen is going to be really slow. If Silencer hits a combo again, I don't know that he can stick around here.
He needs a rotation, or he needs to just kind of hang back and wait for the push. He probably should have blocked at least this camp, if not both camps, knowing that this was going to be super aggressive lane.
As an older person, I do want to say that the matchup and the back and forth down here between the Quap and the Venomancer makes me smile, because it's DJ trading blows with Steve, who I don't know if you remember Full House, but DJ dated Steven, and they go back and forth all the time. Meanwhile, up on top, while I'm reminiscing about Full House, Centaur Warrunner again gets taken out.
He just went too far forward. It was a guaranteed kill if he walked past this line, and he did.
And Powerful Goku's going to have to change his name, because so far, he's anything but. He's really
regular Goku. He's Goku with this monkey tail still. Like, really old school Goku.
Yeah, it's tough to see a Centaur in this position made so impotent by the fact that he's just being outlaned, understandably, by a very strong combo.
Speaking of outlaned, geez, Bingo in the mid, more than doubling Lena's last hits.
Heart Song.
He's got to go all the way back.
Heart Song's got to go. That's a tough one.
Even matchup. Like, hero to hero, this is one of the few matchups in all of Dota that, in terms of pro play, they are within a creep of each other, on average, forever. Like, they one never really pulls ahead. Usually at some point in time, one hero starts to get an advantage that snowballs. That's not the case between Lena and Windranger. They stay toe-to-toe for the first 15 minutes on average.
Or do they? As Bingo is showing us that maybe that Windranger, very, very strong in the right hands. I guess we saw was it Weeha doing it today? In Nanyang that was really, really strong as well?
Yes, Weeha absolutely killed it today.
Okay.
All of Secret did, yeah.
On Windranger, though, I think specifically. I saw a lot of posts about it. Yeah. I will have to go check it out as a Windranger connoisseur. I'm excited about watching that replay.
Anybody who is even remotely interested in Dota should, first of all, finish watching the CSL game and then immediately go watch the Vici Gaming versus Secret Games.
Because this game's about to go off. As Steven gets that invisibility rotation, he's got the Venomous Scale, wants to move on Bingo and try to get something going for Rain Heartsong here, but Bingo seems like he smells trouble. He's going to back away. Steven's going to stay there, being very stalwart, but what-ro, here comes a smoke rotation from the top. Seko and ML out. Here comes Venomous Scale. It's going to lead on Bingo, but that's going to push Rain Heartsong forward. Immediately, the sprint comes. She's going to get away, and here comes the gank. Steven goes, oh no! Runs off. That's the 6 from Heartsong, so she does get the pickup, but goes down in the process, and will lose Steven as well as he's silenced and burned down. So it goes with the 2 for 1. But we can argue that maybe it wasn't terrible because Lena did get the last hit on that Windranger who was boxing her out so aggressively.
You have a support silencer with 8 stolen intelligence at 5 minutes and 30 seconds. There's no exception. There is no situation in which you can argue that that's all right, I don't think. Like,
I guess we understand why he went Glaives, huh?
Well, they're going to be just finding kills on the street like pennies, yes. That is a fantastic build.
See a kill, pick it up. The whole night long, you'll win games and make it a 2-0, which it feels like BU is really pushing for right now. The gold lead at 1,500 to them. A big, nice latch, going to push Heartsong back again. XP up to 750, and BU is really taking control of these lanes. If we look at the net worth, you're going to see Necrophos still doing it up on the top lane. So he is... What do we got? Hold on, I think we almost had a fight there. Bingo goes down and manages to secure the rune. Steven tried to control it, but couldn't do so. That's unfortunate.
Nope.
And Venge got the regen.
Rocket. I don't remember that episode of Full House, but...
So, but what we're saying is going over it, Radiant does have 2 in the top, but those heroes still not having the best lanes. Gyrocopter, I guess, doing okay for himself. He does have 29 last hits, but if you compare that to the Necrophos, not nearly close enough.
Yeah.
Big engagement. Now it's even more trouble as Dragonfire gets hit down. Physical damage is going to get defended against, but how long can it last? Seko makes sure that he stays low, finishes the job with the right click, and that is now 10 stolen intelligence. Up on the top, though, Powerful Goku gets caught again. He's going to get popped in the face. Amaranth finishes the job with the Scythe of Ice, and that is a kill on top, a kill on bottom, and now they find Steven looking for a kill in the middle as Seko puts the damage in, uses those Glaives of Wisdom. Steven's going to go down here. He gets some help from DJ as Silencer decides to finish the job.
Didn't even get there. Seko just wrecked it. He might die. He will die.
He will die.
Who cares?
Who cares? 12 int for a support silencer.
You trade on that, especially as a support. You
That's
trade on
brutal.
that hero every single opportunity.
God.
Yeah, there's very, very minimal possibility of there being a bad trade for a silencer.
Amarov pushing up here with ML, just sort of laying into this one, has a point in just about everything. 3 into Death Pulse, and they're going to start to lay into this tower. Uncontested, no one's going to come stop them. This should be an easy push. Meanwhile, Heartsong, desperate for some regen, makes the 51-second rotation to the rune. Generally, I say if you see a mid go to the rune prior to 50 seconds, which is when he started walking, it means that they are in some tough situations. So he does go ahead and secure it, gets the regen, but had to give up 11 seconds of farm on lane.
Oh god, the one-man smoke from Sekko, and he's going to know this is an illusion too. Look, they know.
Wow.
These guys they're paying attention. This is smart. And he's just going to wait here. Bingo's going to try to bait something out. Oh no, they didn't know. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Oh, I thought for sure, looking at the way he was glancing sideways.
I'm going to take you up top, though, as ML gets engaged on. They brought powerful Goku in, and vengeance is mine, saith the Goku. As they move Lina up to the top and get a double kill out there in a lane that Goku has had a very tough go of things on. Pushes him to level 6, and his ultimate will be available going forward. So just like the last game, where we saw Slardar fall way behind and then get a quick rotation for an easy 2 to get back into the match, Goku gets the same assist from his team. Down the bottom, Dragonfire forward with that gyrocopter, going to go ahead and keep his farm train rolling, though he is 4th on the net worth. He wants to go on DJ. DJ gets hit from the distance. Dragonfire backs away, though, and DJ will live.
That was close. That was a bit of mana away from being a nightmare for DJ. There's no reason for him to die in a one-on-one, basically, against the gyrocopter at this stage.
This is, of course, that point we talk about. Gyrocopter has his ultimate up. We're at 9 minutes in. His damage output is increasing. The question is, by the way, Lina finishes Silencer, so that was a good kill for her. I think that was over in the top lane, a nice little pick off. But here's my question. Normally, you would see the Gyrocopter put a lot less points into his homing missile to come online earlier. Do you think that that's going to be a problem for Dragonfire in this game?
I don't know if you remember this. When homing missile first got, we're potentially going to have a fight here, actually.
Yeah, I think Dragonfire is in some trouble. Amarov comes in. He's got the Scythe up if they can close the deal. ML's going to get the stun. Scythe device will come out right now. Yep, there it is. Finishes the job. Dragonfire goes down. Maybe a little bit of a waste of the Scythe, as a DJ could have done it without. DJ does reserve her ultimate for later use, however. But you're going to say when it first got changed. Actually, let's go up top where Sekko gets face pounded by Rain Heartsong, who says, I'm tired of your rotations. Well, you know, I can't blame this Lina. Lina got rocked down on the bottom, really got made to pay by silencer rotations, and says, oh, you know, I'm going to take it back to you. You're not expecting
I meant the silencer. Like, he shouldn't be in lanes by himself, even though he's having a good game.
He got cocky.
Right? He should still be seeding farm to his carries at this stage and making sure that he's not seen, because he is very squishy. It's one of the downsides of an early silencer.
We see 3 TPs come down to the bottom. They want to make the chase. This is a little bit risky, though. Goku does not have his ultimate, so they cannot close the distance. Bingo comes out, gets up a nice latch. Power shot reduction and the ultimate. Goku is going to go back to base, not the way that he had hoped. And now Bingo, ML, and Amarov push the advantage. Yeah. Big swap on Steven. Steven locked in, doesn't have an ultimate, doesn't have level 6. He will get rescued by Winter, only so that Wyvern can die. The stun comes out. ML goes down, but at the exchange for 3. Here comes the call down. Amarov gets out of it. Dragonfire cannot chase if call down can't connect. And they make a beautiful 3 for 1 with more harass coming from the double damage Bingo.
Bingo, you can stop this missile. You can save your friend. Oh, he didn't do it.
No.
So, what I was going to say a year and a half ago is that the gyrocopter homing missile, when it was first changed, it was given a big buff, I think 683, 682. And he started getting brought mid a lot, and that max missile build was very common then. All right,
we got a rotation as DJ comes in. The latch does not... Oh, that was close. Almost latch, but not quite there. Bingo wants to close, though. DJ's on the follow. Dragon goes into the secret, or the side shop. That may get him in some trouble. Amarov closes. He's got the Scythe up. Going to throw it out quickly because he's getting very low. Ultimate from DJ puts up some damage. Goku locked in place. There's a Laguna Blade. Amarov not going to use Scythe. He's just going to drop. There he goes. Throws it out before he goes down. That'll do some damage on C, but not quite enough. C now going to back away as 2 have already gone down. Steven in some trouble. DJ on the run, but Steven's going to use that wand, gets himself filled back up. Nice kill by Bingo. DJ caught out. Luna Lina putting in some serious work. DJ blinks to what might be a safe position, finishes off the Wind Ranger and makes it a 4 for the price of 2. A deal that University of Massachusetts is happy to take all day long. Meanwhile, DJ just has to sit here because he has no mana. Finally, the blink comes off a cooldown and she's going to try to jump to safety.
Yeah, she'll be fine. So, what that... But back to 2.5 years ago, what the missile priority build here does for the gyrocopter is allows him to be left alone in lane a lot more because he can zone out a Queen of Pain. He's not going to be able to kill a Queen of Pain with Rocket Barrage on his own because Queen of Pain can always blink away. But what he can do is be annoying, throw out lots of damage with that homing missile, and force her to back up as well, constantly. It is a way to zone her out to ensure his own last hits. Now, he does not have the team fight damage that he would have otherwise had, and he is not as strong a ganking machine as he otherwise would have been. But if all he wants is to get rolling into the late game, this build is not a terrible build, especially because it allows for his supports to go and stack the jungle while he solo lanes. Now, we don't actually see any jungle stacks going on, so that's unfortunate. But if this strategy were being used optimally, that's what would have been happening, right? The gyrocopter would have been using the homing missile to zone so that he could solo lane and his supports could dip out for rotations or dip out for stacking jungles and ancients.
It's one of those moments where I wish I had access to the More You Know soundtrack, you know?
Yeah, well, there
so you could say I get ding ding ding.
Just throw on a Schoolhouse Rock. It's fine.
All right, so let's take a quick look. Actually, I was going to take a look at the gold graph, but game has paused, is blocking it, which is good news for UMass because originally, not long ago, BU was up by BU was up by 3,500, which means that I could have seen it when the game is paused, and the fact that now I cannot is a positive because UMass has pulled it closer.
I should have said they're up by about 600.
600.
Oh, yeah,
it's a little higher.
400. I was right. Damn. Oh, it's still going. It's fine. It's still going.
Things are going. Yules is now up on the Lina as she gets that piece out. We see the mech finished up on Necrophos. It looks like Vengeful Spirit will be going. Is that a? Is she going 4-staff there?
Yes.
I would imagine with the way that she's been playing this game. That'd be silly not to. Wind Ranger going for the Yules Rush. No big surprises. And bottom lane going to probably go down here. We do see a TP coming out. 2 TPs. Heartsong, they want to engage. Can they do it? Yules comes out. It's revealed, but immediately a lash to follow. Heartsong's got to back away. In comes the ultimate from Steven. Does some work. Goku comes off with the stun. Now Sekko and Bingo got to run. They lost the Venomous. They turn back on Goku. Goku drops down. Gets a nice AoE off on everyone. Look at that damage. Sekko, tick, tick, tick. Boom! Goes the deny from DJ. Finishes the job, though I don't think he was going to die to the poison. Safety first, says DJ, as she spins him back to base, and they'll push up on the bottom lane.
Silencer didn't get hit by that Gale, did he? I don't think he did. Let's see. Poison Sting, Poison Nova. Yeah, there was no Gale damage there. And the Poison Sting, it looks like the debuff had fallen off. Yeah, he lost the debuff, and then he got denied.
DJ
could not have died there.
DJ wants Dragonfire. DJ kills Dragonfire. DJ says, I don't care if you're on my team or the other team. I just want blood. Yeah, and executes beautifully.
Well, yeah. He executed slaying his teammate absolutely perfectly. You're right.
You know, it's an underrated skill in Dota. It is, though.
It would have been a beautiful deny if that hero worked to die.
People don't give enough credit to denies. I missed a deny the other night, and everybody laughed at me maniacally. It was a terrible experience. Gold lead, by the way, 5,200. XP at 3,000. Boston University starting to really take the screws to University of Massachusetts Amherst. And this is what happened in the last game, except UMass has not really given up any massive 5-man wipes, which we saw happen last time, really put them behind.
UMass are they're doing quite well.
Yeah, I think so.
This is kind of, this is sort of what we were seeing in the last game, but maybe on the other foot. BU getting a couple of scattered engagements. They did end up taking that last tower fight a lot better than I expected them to, thanks almost entirely to a beautiful 3-man Light Striker.
Yeah.
Right? Which was really, honestly, BU's fault because they were all standing grouped up around a Cyclone unit, right?
Right.
But even that being said, it was still very nice done. It allowed the Centaur to get in, allowed the Venomancer to get in, and they really engaged. There just wasn't enough to really hold BU under the water there.
Worth noting again, Silencer 16 intelligence to his name. However, he was just caught out again on the top lane by Alina by himself. So maybe putting himself in some dangerous positions here, which you don't want to see. Yes, he's support, but when your support gets a really strong start like that, it's important to sort of parlay that into a extra mid-game sort of pseudo carry, right? Like you have the chance to utilize that to make you even stronger. Meanwhile, speaking of strength, the University of Massachusetts says now is the time. They pop a smoke. They immediately go in. A little bit of miscommunication there, but they seem to have worked it out. Steven is revealed first as he leads the charge. Goes in, Venomous Gale, gets it on the Necropost. Nice. Yules to buy some space. Down he goes. In comes DJ with a big ultimate. Amarov goes close. They see Goku. They want to go for him. Pop the ultimate on him. That's a double. The initiation has gone wrong. The swap and the latch and the death to Lina. The push down the mid lane as they want to try to finish the job on C. He's got to pop that flight to try and get away, but she is just so fast. Bingo closes the distance. She's going to have a latch off in just a second. Unnecessary as ML finishes the job. It's a 4-man wipe from what we thought was going to be a good UMass gank. And honestly, Gorgon, that came down to miscommunication again for me. They were leading in. They had Goku in front. He had the Blink Dagger ready to go to get that engagement. Sorry, no Blink Dagger. He was in front and ready to go with his ultimate to get the engagement and the stun. He juked backwards at the same time that Steven walked into vision range, and then you're just pot committed. They did what they could, but it wasn't enough. They will lose the mid tower out of this as BU stomps forward continuously in this match.
Yeah, you said something a minute ago that I want to comment on. Just that it's important to parlay a support into a semi carry if you can. If they get off a really strong start, especially on a hero like Silencer, whose damage output can scale really effectively. There's another reason that you don't want your support running in over and over again, and it's the fact that that AoE gold still exists, even though it's been peeled back a bit. Every time he dies, he is losing between 4 and 8% of his value times the differential of his team's value and his opponent's team's value. Basically, what that amounts to is he's losing like 1 to 2% of his team's overall gold lead every time he does that. Which is, it's not huge, but it does add up over 6 deaths. You know, then you're talking 10% of your team's lead has been thrown away by a support.
That was some Nahaz level economics you just tossed at us. Venomancer is going to get picked off in the mid position, and BU continues playing very, very well. But I think that you're right. There was a lot of words in there that lost me about halfway through.
Basically, even supports can feed. Supports feed out your carry's gold, right?
Yes.
So if your carry's doing really well and your support dies, part of your carry's gold, not from your carry's pocket, but from your team's overall advantage, goes the way of your opponent's team.
Nice. Okay. Now, as we wait to sort of see the next engagement coming along, we'll take a look at items that are out at the moment. It looks like Lina is building up a Ag Scepter. It's about halfway there right now. Queen of Pain, Ag Scepter, 3/4 of the way done. What else do we have? Bingo, just about to finish his as well. So BU about to finish 2 very important Ag Sectors, one after another.
Yeah, that's rough times for UMA. There's almost-ish in Ag, soon TM, right, for Rain Heartsong on the Ags. But
if you were to compare Ag's effectiveness between those 3 heroes, how would you rank the need for an Ags? 1, 2, 3.
So probably in this lineup.
Yeah, let's say lineup.
The Queen of Pain has the most important Ags. Then the Lina, then the Wind Ranger, then the Silencer. Okay. I know you think it's the Wind Ranger every single time.
I could see Quap ahead. I think the Wind Ranger in second place though. That additional ability to just kind of put threat and put pressure on is just so strong. But it's not going to matter. DJ caught in a tough position. The smoke has finally worked out for University of Massachusetts as they pop the Quap and she gets taken down short of finishing her Ag Scepter. She did not have the money to buy out and finish it up, so she lost a good chunk of change, and that will, fortunately for UMass, slow down the inevitable burn caused by that pickup.
Oh, I didn't even know I could do that. Apparently, I'm building Ag Scepter. Nice. Something new every day. So the Ags on the Lina, I justify that I said that that's more important than the Wind Ranger for 2 reasons. One, it really allows that Lina to leverage that damage to basically eliminate a hero from every single fight. And 2, it is going to be the key to finding 4v5 engagements so her team can catch up.
I'm clapping because Radiant got their first tower.
I'm very proud of them, and they almost lost it to a deny, which
I know.
Not the end of the world.
Not the end, but still frustrating when it's your first tower at 20 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, so Heartsong goes invisible, heads up into the jungle. Looks like she could maybe find Amarov here. It'd be a great pick off for them. She's got plenty of backup in the form of that Centaur War Runner. His ultimate's down up in 19 seconds. Gyrocopter available as well, but here comes the mass rotation. 3 heroes headed towards that top.
This is really smart by Heartsong. Look, she's scouting to see
beautiful.
what help is going to come.
So now she knows.
They could have gotten that kill, but they probably would have lost somebody.
There they go. She pings them out, says, here they come. Now Goku and Dragonfire are going to hang back for just a second. Got to be careful, though. Heartsong comes in, gets up the double stud, wants to go. Big call down. Going to hit 3, but is it enough? As DJ comes around, pops the ultimate. Goku dropping low. Heartsong goes into Yules, but ends up dying anyway. That's a one-man pick off. The engagement maybe a little bit hasty. Steven comes in, pops the ultimate, but he drops very low in the process. Heartsong comes around, puts up a lot of damage on Amarov. Will it be enough? He gets healed up and then turned into a Glimmer Cape with a Guardian. Oh, my God. That Guardian's Greave snuck up on everybody, including University of Massachusetts. C comes in and trying to make something happen. Makes a move on DJ. That should cost DJ his life. No, it doesn't. He lives. C gets swapped. C gets killed. It's a triple. And BU walks away from that engagement smelling like roses.
Now 28 stolen intelligence from... UMA is not going to be able to cast anything by the time this hits 40 minutes. If it even gets that far, right?
No.
Now, the tower is pretty much guaranteed to fall because the Ags is done on the Wind Ranger, so just instant towers all day, every day. They might even be able to overcome backdoor protection if they really wanted to.
Yep, because Bingo looking pretty strong right now, along with the rest of the team. In they come to show that Ags. TB's going to come out to try to defend. Call down comes up to slow the process. ML caught inside of it. Goku wants to engage, but he still does not have a Blink Dagger, and that's really hurting University of Massachusetts. A big latch comes through. Heartsong takes the damage. Out comes the Gale. Will it be enough? Samurov finishes the job on... Oh, this is bad, man. The swap on Dragonfire. Dragonfire is going to drop down now as well. BU puts Seko onto a killing spree, and Amarov, not even caring, wants to go deep after Goku, makes the follow, sees everyone engage on him, but cares very little about it. DJ on the follow, goes after C. C drops low. Goku drops low. It's a 4-man wipe. Venomancer has to walk the long way around to go home. It's like a walk of shame for him as he's the last man standing with those ears drooping, and they will finish off the tower, presumably walk in and take those racks. The only buyback available is on Goku. That's 16 seconds to the Frost and 17 until the Gyrocopter, at least the tower, if not the racks, will go down here on this push, especially because Wind Ranger's got that eggs.
Yeah, this is a just dominating game by the Silencer, right? To understand how impressed I am by the amount of intelligence that the Silencer has stolen, I've never seen this much intelligence stolen in any sort of serious pro game, right? Like decently matched opponents at this stage. I myself have run Silencer in the 95th percentile of the Dota buff rankings. I've never had a game where I've gotten this.
What? What? They make the engagement. Amarov lives. He gets the boots, and then he gets saved. I think that was a Glimmer Cape. Was that a Glimmer Cape? Saved him. Yep, it was. Beautiful play by the Venge. Glimmers the initiation, saves him long enough to get the Gyrocopter and finish the racks and get everyone low enough to allow them to extract themselves. So it was a really great play by Venge that did not ultimately save Amarov, but did enough that the team was able to finish the racks off and finish the Gyro as well as push back the Radiant. I think that was a huge play by ML there as they now back away happily from that push. They picked up 2 towers and a pair of racks. And on the opposite side, UMass is still trying to get their second and third tier 1.
Yeah, this is I don't really know what UMA does here, right? Do you have a course of action that they can go through?
Yeah, I think you open up your backpack, you pull out your homework, and you start working on it for tomorrow.
So they can wait for massive misplays from VU, but short of that, they're just too far behind. Lena that hasn't even finished that Ags that she's been very close to for like 8 minutes or something like that. It's devastating, absolutely devastating. And things just get worse as Silencer gets bigger. Not to mention the fact that Wind Ranger is absolutely huge. The Necrophos has now a full Lotus Orb, right? The Vengeful Spirit will only continue to scale better and better as that Vengeance Orb becomes even more and more potent.
Yeah, and I don't know. This is Dota, so there's no physical football you can deflate to try to cheat your way back into this one. They're just gonna have to take it on the chin. I am worried about UMass significantly.
Yeah. You better get over those worries and get on with your life because I'm not seeing a lot of points.
Oh,
and now
they're dewarding.
Rub it in, BU just rub.
Salt in the wound, man. ML on fire, doing a great job of supporting in this game. Everybody else from BU really showing their stripes. 15,000 gold lead, 12,000 XP, and the items continue to pour out towards BU's side. We have that Lotus Orb now up on the Necrophos. The Rod of Atos on the Silencer. I mean, things just are not going well for Amherst.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're all aware of that. BKB is almost done on the Gyrocopter, but when your Gyrocopter's level 12 at 25 minutes and his best item is about to be a BKB, you're in a pretty tough situation.
Yeah, that's a understatement of pretty drastic proportion. But the only thing that I'm really most confused by is why the Silencer was having such an amazing game with so much stolen intelligence. Prioritize Curse of Silent over Glaives. He's getting so much less damage out of it, and there's not that much in terms of the amount of mana that you'll be able to actually drain from UMA. Typically, it's not going to be that effective because the heroes who need to cast are going to have big enough mana pools that you're not going to drain it before they do their cast, right?
Now, Bingo's going to come through, use that power shot just to clear the creeps. They'll push into this tower. This will be the last non-high ground tower standing, and it will go down without any real contest from the guys from UMA. UMA is going to drop back to the high ground. Now, we know that Gyrocopter's out of position. He has a TP scroll, but can he get back in time? BU thinking about going to the high ground. They're going to spot Gyro right now. They know he's not in position. This should lead them into at least doing some chips. Heartsong, big swap, out of position. ML's got to make the run. Here comes Steven. Nice play by the Quap. Dodged by Steven, but it may not be enough as Quap goes to the high ground, finishes him with the dagger, and this will allow a straight up push on that bottom tower. Ultimate comes out from Bingo, will burn into it. They pop the glyph, and now BU has to back away. So they do defend the high ground for the time being with the TP in from the Gyrocopter. Here comes the Rocket just to do a little bit of pain in the butt harassment. Bingo blinks in and makes sure the Rocket's not going for him, and will back away. DJ takes the stun. Here comes the Courier. He's going to be dropped. Is he baiting? Picking up a wand.
Yeah. That's
well,
Aegis, I assume. Aegis wand straight off. I don't know why they did it there of all places, but hey.
Next level, man. Next level. Maybe they're hoping they get bloodthirsty after that last game. Though that's it right now. 20,000 lead for BU XP, and they've got 13,000 in terms. 13 XP, 20,000 in gold, and the push will continue. BU not to be detoured by a measly 5 heroes on the high ground as they wait for the initiation and the mischance, or the misstep, I should say, of University of Massachusetts. Goku, it looks like he's amping to go. He does. He gets the stun. He comes in with the blink, goes with the follow-up. Immediately, the Winter Wyvern locks him down. ML takes some damage. DJ going to take some damage. Good call down. Gets one, but not two, as DJ's able to blink away. Here comes the old Scepter for the Necrophos. Tries the same sales. He's taking a lot of damage. Going to try to put out the ultimate. Not going to happen as Dragonfire gets low, but here comes Necrophos right back up. Seko and Bingo going to work to zone him in. Make the save. Another big stun by powerful Goku. Really working out here, but there's the Guardian Greaves to heal them all back up, and the 3 men will push by themselves. They lost 2 heroes in that initiation. But they know that UMass burnt everything that they had. So right now they're trying to decide, should we keep the aggression going or should we back away? And I think that the answer is
chip with the Focus Fire, right? Well, there's no reason to not at least cast Focus Fire and then run away.
Here, Heartsong goes ahead, tries to clean out the creeps, do a little more damage. Focus Fire is going to come out for the chip shot. No, it's not. She's not using it. Seko does a little zoning. He's going to back away. Bingo's hoping they'll try to engage and she can utilize that ultimate for a burr, but it would have been back off a cooldown pretty much by now.
They don't want an engage. I think she just forgot. She did this the last time they chipped too. She didn't cast the Focus Fire right away. That was the engagement where the Queen of Pain missed her ultimate, that whole thing. Wind Ranger held on that Focus Fire for like 30 seconds before she ended up casting it on the tower. I'm not sure why, but
not every Wind Ranger.
She could cast it right now.
Oh, big Laguna to the face. Venge dodges the Venom. Yeah. What a play. Good Force Staff to get out of there. Goku comes in, though, gets the stun on Amarov. Amarov just came back from death, wants to come right back into it. He goes down at the cost of a Goku. That's actually a pretty good shade for UMA. Nice call down. He's going to catch 3. Seku isolated. He's going to go down here. Nice play by Dragonfire. Reveals that BKB for the first time and gets a kill out of it, but it cost them 3 heroes to make that happen. Bingo right back in. The Queen to push herself. Hopefully, she uses the chip shot this time around and pops the ultimate. She will to burn down that tower. So tower will finally fall after a long, drawn-out assault by the boys from BU.
Yeah, you got to get that chipping putter out when you're this close.
Bingo goes in comes DJ, wants to go on Dragonfire. He's going to drop down C-Game for the save, but could not get there in time. And now this will be Rax as they don't have a defense. Buyback, maybe not. Gyro gets the buyback. Lena gets the buyback. In comes the TP. Wants to go for the engage. Misses the range on ML. ML's going to walk away with the Glimmer Cape, and they will go to safety. They defend the Rax, but at the cost of so many lives, so many good people.
Yeah, they defend the Rax, but for how long? Right? They're probably just falling back for the next Aegis, which is going to be up in Looks like, what, 3 to 6 minutes? So you've got 3 to 6 minutes to turn this around, UMA. Go.
3 to 6 minutes. It's quite the window. In Dota time, that's a pretty big window.
Yeah, no, your schedule just got moved up.
Oh, shoot. All right, there it is. The schedule window has closed rapidly. That is a 20,000 gold lead for BU as that continues to lengthen itself out. 12,000 still in terms of XP. If we look at the hero level stack chart, the bottom 3 go green, 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 and one of them is the Centaur War Runner. So he is tied with the supports in terms of his level, which is not really working out well for them as we've seen. And then we do have the Gyro and the Lena sitting there at 15. So they're staying relevant. But when you look at their farm, that's where the trouble starts, is they're all the way on the bottom of that. Venge is the only dire hero not in the top 5 for overall farm of these guys.
Centaur is really close to not being able to cast both his Stomp and his Stampede in the same fight because of his lost intelligence. He's died 9 times. He's probably lost about 16 intelligence, right?
Oh, it's only at 273 mana. Jeez Louise.
Yeah. With a Curse of the Silent, even a low-level Curse of the Silent, he probably can't cast both.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that hurts. That really hurts.
Oh, what hurts is that swap, but out comes the BKB. Cooldown's going to go on Sekko. Sekko taking a lot of damage. He's got to run. Second time that's worked out. Big blink in from Goku. Does manage to get the combo off. Amarov is here. He gets frozen in place. Steven dropping pretty low. Puts up a lot of damage with that Venomous Gale, though. Amarov dropping. He's not going to make it out of this one alive as that poison is just too strong. Or is it? He actually might get out. Oh, nice play. Gets the heal. Does not survive. So I was right in the first place. Never doubt yourself, Toffees.
That should have been the deny, right?
Yeah. That DJ was like, no, in this particular instance, I would like to save my right click for the tower.
Let him die, yeah.
So Dragonfire is going to go ahead and push back. They get the ranged racks. Bingo a little bit low. Has to be careful about initiation here. DJ does get stunned from behind. ML decides to force staff himself to safety, hoping that DJ can get the blink off. DJ cannot, but does go invisible. What a play by ML to save DJ as he gets away. Bingo comes in. Good shackle to buy some more space. ML outranges Dragonfire, but for how long? Jukes through the trees, goes for the TP. That's the right call. They don't have a stun. He'll get to safety.
He was within range of homing missile that whole time. Massive range on homing missile.
For real though.
Cast that to guarantee the TP cancellation. It's just little things like that, right? That just kind of make you wonder, especially if you're on one of these teams, you're watching the replay and you're trying to figure out where you went wrong. Little moments like that are really easy to overemphasize when the overarching issues that they're having are not so obvious. They are, oh, we're 400 units apart or too far apart from these engagements. Though, I will say BU has been really sloppy over the last couple of
Super sloppy.
Not to take away from how well they did in the early game, but
well, they did so well that
exceedingly sloppy.
They've done so well that they feel incredibly comfortable with their 20,000 gold lead. They're playing a little Joe for me, but at the end of the day, it's still working out. That said, and that's I think a large part of that is due to the play of the Vengeful Spirit over the last couple of minutes. That her usage of the Glimmer Cape, the ability of the Force Staff to really create some pacing and use on just about everybody on the team has been absolutely paramount to their survival and their success so far. That said, BU needs to lower the slop and keep pushing forward in a more coordinated manner, I guess the way to put it, because they keep opening themselves every single time to that Goku Blink Stun combined with the Dragonfire call down, and it's just too much damage to deal with.
Yeah, geez, I don't... Even as sloppy as BU has given UMA plenty of opportunities, and UMA has taken them like this, right here.
Amarov comes in, they get the stun again, but out comes the Global Silence from BU. Call down still going to get cast, puts in a lot of damage. Amarov getting low. He has his ultimate available, though. Force Staff to safety by ML. The swap for Sekko. DJ comes in, hits the ultimate. It's 1, it's 2, it's going to be 3, as that's a 4-man wipe. And again, ML with the plays for mother effing days, baby.
He needs to just take the M out of that. He's not a small fry. Like, that is a full leader.
That is a full leader of player. I love it. I just want a freaking leader of Vengeful Spirit because this guy's playing like a boss right now. Gold lead goes way past 20 for the first time in this game. XP cracks up to 18. Double racks drop. No buyback on UMA. What's going to happen here? Goku comes out and gets phased back right away. I thought Goku would try a defense, but he walked forward tentatively, and DJ was like, I'm here. Down you go, back to base. Megas come out. We see Vino come up, but what's that going to do? Sekko starting to just nuke down this tower with the rest of his crew. Taking the damage. Now we do. Nice play by ML again to try and dodge the ultimate. Big play by DJ. They come around. They lose 2 in that engagement. And they will make it a few more, but they pick off with the scepter, by the way. The Goku goes down. C now under some serious assault. He will likely drop here. Even if he doesn't, it's not going to matter. C will glimmer himself to safety.
That Centaur is really happy that the silencer died there.
Heartsong comes in. Call down's there as well. They want Amarov, and Amarov does win the prize tonight for most call down shots to the face.
I can't believe that this GG hasn't been called yet.
What did we learn about from University of Massachusetts Amherst?
They are to the end. But Gyrocopter is dying to creeps, and that's your farming carry, who is possibly the most optimally prepared hero to deal with Mega Creeps in the game. And he can't handle it.
Oh man. Highly entertaining. This game is I'm having fun. That's all I can say about that. That said, this is pretty much in BU's pocket. Now I feel, here comes Bingo, gets up the shackle, and Heartsong gets saved from C, turns around, moves on Bingo. He gets frozen. What a force staff. Heartsong's got nowhere to go. She's like, wait a minute, how did I get here? And then Bingo jumps in and says, all right, if you're not going to yield, I'm just going to finish this job. ML swaps Bingo away, wants to move on Steven. Steven's going to drop down, and that will be the end of the ancient. University of Massachusetts Amherst drops 2 games in a row to Boston University. The cross-state rivalry is solved as BU comes out ahead and breaks their losing streak here in the Collegiate Star League. My name is Toffee's, bringing you the action here every Tuesday and Thursday night with my co-caster Gorgon the Wonder Cow. You can find me at Toffee's TV. Make sure you check it out if you like the cast. And Gorgon, where can these folks find you?
You guys can find me over at the Wonder Cow on Twitter.
On Twitter, guys. Now, come back on Tuesday. So all the games that are not featured Tuesday and Thursday are played on Saturdays generally. You can watch those in client. I believe that CSL will be having some amateur casters coming out to take care of those games in the coming months. Keep in mind, this tournament goes all the way through May. At the end of May, we'll be having a LAN final where the top teams will be invited and flown out to the location of the LAN so they get a chance to sort of play, have that experience, and compete for $15,000 in scholarships. I also know last year at the LAN final, we had some top teams out there scouting talent, so it's a really great opportunity for these players to sort of showcase themselves, have a great experience, and whether or not they want to go pro, honestly, I think it's a really cool thing. Even if you become a doctor out of college and you can say, hey, I got to fly to San Francisco for a Dota 2 esports LAN final and got $8,000 in scholarships from it. That's a cool experience no matter who you are. Excited to be part of the group, excited to be part of this process. This is the best you can find in collegiate Dota right now, and I'm incredibly excited to be bringing it to you twice a week, guys. So come back, join us every Tuesday and Thursday. Follow us on Twitter for more information. Have a wonderful evening, play more Dota, and as always, folks, Toffee's out.